we can move over to the next topic, which is we'll talk about the one that I've been thinking about for the last couple of days. Joe Budden.
Don't expose yourself because they're gonna be like, "This is refined."
That is true. That is true.
You might want to pause and do a little more refining real quick.
Of course, it'd be the Joe topic. You Joe Venger.
Right. Okay,
yeah.
so Queen's Flip posted that he quit on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
Is that confirmed?
No, he didn't. He was just playing.
Okay.
That sounds like a joke.
Yeah, it was a moment to go viral. He was trying to do some viral shit.
This is a nigga that does
COE,
online pranks.
Content over everything. That's what it was.
Okay, perfect. And y'all walking right into my thoughts. So, so with this content thing over everything, Joe is essentially rebuilding a network again right now. You know, he tried it one time. He failed. He didn't fail. He learned a lot because, when you watch his, like, Joe Budden interviews with academics, he talks about how there's certain things he would have done when he was making his network the first time that he would not do now, right? Those are short growing pains. Queen's Flip is probably the first real piece to his newly built network. And this is something in this whole content over everything, doing things and saying things to go viral, like I quit, having contract issues or disputes over the mic, over Patreon episodes and things of that nature. Is Joe Budden dipping into, I think Joe Budden, what I think and what I believe is he's dipping into his Love and Hip Hop TVS thing and Adam 22 No Jumper. And what my overall point is that I wanted to ask y'all is, do you think for a podcast network to be to thrive and prosper and have multiple shows and multiple personalities, there has to be a reality TV or a reality element between it?
Nope.
No.
Look at what Charlamagne the God is doing with Black Effect. And there's those podcasts, like, you know that they're on the same label, but they don't feel connected necessarily all the time.
But that's completely different, though. I'm talking about a content house. So the Black Effect Network is different because 85 South shows in Atlanta. These are all people who had independent things cracking already that came under a large umbrella. Yeah. We're talking about you have a content hub, this studio, No Jumper, the Joe Budden Network. You have a location where all the personalities go to, make content, different shows. Sometimes the show intertwines, the hosts go back and forth between. But is there a way of having a content hub without the reality aspect of it to be successful?
And the reality aspect meaning like showing the behind the scenes of it all amongst what's going on?
Nope, I'm talking about the drama.
I'm talking about the drama. So drama. That's what I was trying to get at.
I'm talking about the drama. So,
malarkey.
The malarkey.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Queen's Flip talking about, I quit. Yeah. It goes viral. Danny from The Stop is making a video. Chiggs is making a video. We're talking about it. We're asking questions. Did this nigga really quit? Because we know now we're diving deep into the last couple episodes. Joe was kind of yelling at him like, why haven't you signed a contract yet? Why haven't you signed they're having contract issues over the air. Adam 22 did it the longest I think that we've seen. He maintained the longest where he had a 2-year run of just toxic work environment, but I watched 3 shows a week on that network, and it was like watching Big Brother almost, or it was the Real World. Is that required for a podcast network to survive?
That might be what's required for a podcast network to survive when the pundits themselves aren't just interesting enough just talking about other shit.
Right.
Yeah,
You think so?
like this, you can
just talking about things.
not just one thing works. That's why, like, you can pull anything you want from there.
Barstool got drama too. Barstool, I don't follow it, but I heard Barstool has their own reality-esque thing and issues and beef between the shows.
I mean, I don't think you have to, but Joe, he's a businessman, not a businessman, or like, you know what I'm saying? He's a business, like, so I don't know.
Yeah, you don't have to, as long as, like you said, the other shows have entertainment value on their own.
Okay, but this is what I'm saying. That we are all saying you don't have to, but we can't name an example where it has worked and it hasn't done that.
Oh, Joe.
Joe, what are you talking about?
Joe Rogan.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't have a network. Joe Rogan is Joe Rogan.
Is it potentially because nobody's actually tried it for real?
Possibly. The ones that we have seen, it's just, that's what happens normally. Outside of you finding value in the show, they also get roped into their world's drama.
You think it's just bad business that's turning into drama, and then
I don't know if it's bad business or I think it's human nature. When you put a bunch of niggas that are different in one room, there's no way to not have drama. And as a good network owner or executive, do you try to put fires out all the time, or do you try to monetize the fires?
So y'all heard of this story, right? So Vince McMahon, the greatest businessman, like one of the
no questions asked. Yeah.
So Matt Hardy's girl cheated on him with Edge, and they went through a whole dispute for like a year and a half before Vince sat him down and was like, look, it's time. I got the script, you know, so you're going to come out, you know, Edge, you're going to come out with his girl. Whoop. Y'all feel good about this? Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
He's basically like, squash it. It's been a year and a half.
Wrestling's a good example, yeah.
There's so many like intricate stories.
Who's that one lady that does like, she does all the reality shows?
Mona Scott.
Mona Scott. Like that.
But Joe Budden is a Mona Scott. He's a product of one of the products that, you know, he's one of the highest paid people from Love and Hip Hop. He understands how to monetize. You know, they homies. You know, him and Mona Scott, that's my dog. You know what I'm saying? When she called me, I know it's a mill on the line. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? They got that type of energy. So Joe, like anybody, he understands that content. I think Adam does, but does not at the same time. You know what I'm saying? I think Adam knows how to move the pieces and create the drama, but he doesn't know how to control the drama.
Adam is too real.
Yeah, well, I think, and on top of that, the pieces that he likes to use. So like Mona Scott has mastered bringing the drama together, growing the drama, and monetizing the drama. Joe Budden, I think, learned a lot from that, and I think he was able to look at Adam and his situation and commend how he's monetized the drama, but also he's able to see all the flaws on why things will blow up at some point.
Right. It's like there's a limit to that.
There's a limit. There's always a limit.
It's like the ceiling that Charlamagne was just talking about.
Yeah. Because at the end of the day, you can there's a bunch of different fuel sources, but you know, fossil fuels tend to be bad for the fucking environment, even though they work.
Right.
There's a billion different ways to do something.
True.
You could be like Nicolo-Tesla and just build pyramids and, you know, try to harness frequencies and vibrations.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's a lot harder.
Yeah.
But it's like we really don't have that many examples of podcast networks to begin with.
Nope.
You know what I'm saying?
You get what I'm saying?
Adam,
the ones that we do have,
yeah.
I think the ones, especially in the last 2 years, they're all looking. I think Joe Budden looked at what Adam did, and he's starting to cultivate that with Queen's Flip. They're covering it as content over everything, but I think Joe Budden's reality TV brain is kicking on.
Yeah, I think he's Flip has helped him with that, and he's using that to help boost Flip's show.
Yeah,
because they're able to discuss all that additional drama and break the fourth wall and talk about all that there.
Anytime you're able to
kind of boost that.
Anytime you're able to take something that's happened on one show and talk about it on another, that's when you start creating.
Especially when there's already enough.
You got leftovers.
Yeah.
When you start, for days.
That's when you start creating that world, because then you get into a situation where something happens on the 3-0, y'all talk about it, but then maybe one person didn't like how y'all said something on there, so we respond to it again, and then that's how you get that. That's how it happens. You know what I'm saying?
You cut the product. You know what I'm saying?
You
start
buzzing and diving.
Step on it a little bit. Oopsies. You feel me? It happens. You feel me?
So yeah, but I think I'm just looking at it and I'm like. It's easy for us to say 100% this could happen without any in-house drama, or not even in-house drama, or not monetizing it, or y'all kind of understand what I'm saying.
Like handling it within compared to
There's definitely, but there's something that I'm just like thinking about, and I'm like, it just made me think maybe I do need to like watch some reality TV just to see, and I've had good examples as well too. I'm just thinking about how people operate amongst each other, how to keep those incidents from never coming up, you know, and if they do come up, have them constructively take place and go away. You know what I mean? To where it's not always compounding. Because I think that was Adam's issue. It was always compounding.
Yeah, and it just kept growing.
It was just kept growing. It was never. Joe, I think Joe has learned, and we'll watch over the next summer and over the next year. I think we'll start seeing some WWE-ness. I think there's some, in terms of going back to your Vince McMahon thing, I think with podcasting, there's a certain level of WWE-ness that people are stepping into.
that Joe Budden is stepping in. Because that was the problem with No Jumper, is that his beef was real, and he was just literally monetizing the beef that was around him. Joe Budden, this whole Queens flip, they're more
actually wrestling.
They're more well-mannered. You know.
It's more strategic, and it's not. I can do something, and I know it's going along with our original storyline. You know what I mean?
It's calculated conflict is a lot more controllable.
Yeah, exactly. Calculated conflict. Yep. Yeah. So
at that point, they're just doing bits.
Yeah, and
which is cool.
And which is cool. Which is something that's interesting to see, I think. And I don't watch full episodes of Joe Budden, but I do look at moments of Mel, and I hear how people talk about Melissa Ford and how they kind of gang up on her. I can easily see her spinning that off into, I don't know if she'll ever have her own show. I don't know if she's even trying to. I have no idea, long story short. But what I'm saying is just kind of her opinions being the punching bag. I can see Joe looking at that and turning that into something. And that having that branch off.
That's the role she plays on there? She's the Taylor?
Kinda, yeah.
She's the one
based
to say
off what I've seen.
She's the Max Kellerman. She's gonna say some dumb shit and then we just dunk all over.
Yeah, they do jump on her sometimes for sure. They do.
That's what I've seen on Reddit, and I've seen it in person, but I don't watch every episode either. So it's like I can't say how consistent it is, but like they be on her goddamn head top.
They do be on her head
like,
top.
Hey, but she's a soldier though.
She is.
She's a
like,
soldier.
as soon as she say something, nigga, they be like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" Like,
is it warranted? She says dumb shit.
Sometimes
I don't know if it's always
it is.
warranted because I don't want. I know every so often it is. Though.
But they do a good job of cutting you off before you get to like
the point.
Before you get to like the point. Joe was amazing at that.
Yeah,
they do a great job of like cutting you off before you start making too much sense to where they have to like allow it.
If I could go shadow Joe Budden at work, I would just take out my notepad and learn so much shit.
Bro, there's so many people I want to shout out: Joe Budden, Candace Owens, Charlamagne the God, Schultz. Like, there's so many people. Not really Joe Rogan.
Kevin Hart, because that nigga be buzzing his ass.
For sure.
Like, I want to see what it really looks like to work 24 hours in the day.
Nigga, order me a pack of 5 hours right now. If we're going to Kevin. What the fuck? Like,
Joey
I might need
Diaz.
an IV at the end of his shit. The
My
way it
nigga's
sound like his
cocaine
name.
cut with Adderall.
Yeah, bro.
That's Joey Diaz, the fucking comedian. He was talking about that. He was like, what does it take to be you? Like, you know, is it easy to be you? Is it hard to be you? You just wait. Some people just wake up at 12, p.m. That's easy as fuck to be them. You feel me?
Yeah, true.
Like, you waking up at 6, you feel me? You drinking your smoothie. You fucking hydrated.
You working out twice before you even do the thing. Like,
it takes a lot to be some people.
Yeah, it does.
Shout out to Kevin Hart. He always works.
And people like The Rock, too. The Rock has one of those crazy-ass sketches like that, too. Oh, but the craziest, the GOAT of, like, I think The Rock. I wonder what Kevin Hart's schedule looks like compared to Ryan Seacrest.
Ryan Seacrest is one of the most hard-working white men of all time.
Yeah, that's another one, too, that I would love to. That nigga don't stop.
It ain't shit he ain't hosting.
It ain't shit he ain't hosting.
He's moved on to that. Okay.
No. He was the one that he produced the Kardashian show for like the last 15 years. This nigga has been touched into everything. He low-key is one of the puppet masters.
Can we look up his net worth?
It's out of control. It's hundreds of millions. It has to be hundreds.
Control.
It has to be hundreds of millions.
It's so.
I'm going 350.
It's so crazy that it's probably a lie. It's probably a lot more.
I'm going 350. Is
that Ryan Seacrest, right?
Yep.
About 450.
450 M's.
Yeah, and that's always low.
He probably got another 100 somewhere in India.
Another 3
in Bangladesh.
Another 300 million somewhere else.
Me?
Yeah, I knew it. I knew it couldn't have been 75 a
salary. 75 mil.
Shit, he probably got 30 million with a fucking Dominican bitch in the Republic right now.
Just hiding in a fucking shack with a tin roof. Like, following him for a day.
Yeah.
Him and Kevin. Yeah, those niggas are some issues right there. Yeah. But what was I saying? Okay, so yeah.
I also want to see what Will Smith does in the day. Not to learn nothing, just to see what the fuck happened to this nigga.
His day is really interesting. I think his day is just a lot of demon fighting, and I don't want to hang out with him. Because,
free hugging.
Yeah, I don't want to hang out with him because it's a lot of demon fighting, and it's like his demons are whooping ass. Like mine are fun still. His demons ain't fun. You know
like your demons are trying to get you to do drugs and party.
Fuck with some bitches.
He's getting domestically abused by his demons.
Yeah, his demons. I don't want no parts of his demons. Like I would now, like Will Smith during like get jiggy with it and shit before like it was really like when he was still making like when Jaden was still a baby, it was probably lit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, back when Jaden had braids, everything was all right until Jaden cut them braids off.
The funny thing, I think he's better now than he was back then.
Like a year or two ago.
Like back then, like I think he was way worse in the Hancock days. I think that's when he was really going through it.
Oh, but before we even really knew what was going on,
before we knew what was going on.
That's true. It was probably way worse.
Everything bubbles under the surface.
Yeah, that's true. It was probably worse before the whole Chris Rock slap.
Man, he was probably
terrible.
Nigga, that was the pinnacle.
You know, allegedly,
he might depress me. I might just leave before lunch even comes. I'm gonna be like, hey, look, my nigga, you got it.
You might be heating up a spoon. And his life's so stressful. It's stressing you.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, I don't think I want to hang out with him for a full day.
Feel like you just ran 10 miles trying to make him feel worthy for once.
Right. Yeah, I'll do 4 hours with Will Smith, and I think that's enough. And I'll decide whether I want to go continue from there. Because his demons do not look fun to be around.
His demons.
And if anything involves Jada, I don't even want to be in the same room as her. I feel like I can feel that spirit.
Yeah.
You know, I don't even want to be in the same room as her.
I feel like she can make me fuck her against my will.
Right,
Because she knows some sort of spell.
Right.
She's just going to throw a sigil on my head and I'm just going to be under her control.
Nigga, she going to pluck one of your loose strands, nigga. You're going to be attached to her.
I say that to say, y'all help me flush my idea out. But I think that podcast is gonna. I think if podcasts take a WWE approach for networks and done correctly, could be something that's really great for the podcast space, possibly. You know what I'm saying? WWE, they're not really trying to kill each other outside of the fucking script, you know?
But the WWE, like,
it's a little extreme.
I'm pretty sure every reality TV show took inspiration. Like when they was writing the script, seeing how they act, like, cause it's a show.
Yeah,
you feel me? It's a show. Like,
but yeah, I do wonder if that's what it's gonna come into, because
that's
you also
got
the
new landscape.
If that's gonna be the new landscape, because you got to think about. Because I'm also thinking about companies that have gone bankrupt, like Vice, and they did not have that element.
But
they were producing shows on TV. All different, but we never saw, and they might have been in this, they're kind of in the same house, you know, but like we didn't see their shows coming. The Vice didn't have a world, like you know what I'm saying, like based off what I know.
He's talking about like you never saw the Hamilton, the drug dude, link up with like, you know,
exactly
the dude that be in Africa,
exactly. I don't
fighting
see
wars and shit.
I don't see them sharing shows.
There was no connectivity. You want to see them cross over,
but
yeah, because what I'm thinking is new media. Like Vice was a new media company. See if you could look up Vice going bankrupt or Vice going bankrupt. You'll definitely get an article. But then like maybe in another tab, do media companies that went bankrupt, because there's more than just Vice. But I'm thinking about how to avoid going bankrupt as a media company, because unless you're able to, there is a ceiling in terms. Now this is the 𝙿𝙾𝚂𝚃 ceiling I do agree with. I think there is a ceiling in terms of YouTube. I can't buy a studio with 400 acres off YouTube money.
It depends on who you are, because you are not Mr. Beast.
That's true. That is very true. You know what I'm saying? But Mr. Beast,
it's possible.
It's possible, but it's a lot harder.
Top 1%.
Top 1%. Top 1%. You know what I'm saying?
Top 0.01%.
And Mr. Beast is the only one that we know that could do it. You know, like 50 Cent went from Stars to when he went to Encore first, then to Stars. And then now he's got his big space. You know what I'm saying? And that's the evolution that 𝙿𝙾𝚂 is also talking about, where it's like when you might need to get that. That's that connection you need to have that leverage to where bankruptcy is the last thing y'all think about now.
Yeah, because
you don't think it just has to be really good content,
bro? You see, that's the thing. Like that's why it doesn't have to be one thing.
It doesn't have to be one thing.
It has to be captivating.
But
and that's what Vice was doing back then. You know, I was watching what was his name? The Naked Warrior. I think that was his name, the Naked Warrior.
Yeah, I know.
He used to run in the battles, butt naked, balls hanging, pow, pow, pow. You know what I'm saying? That's what he would, and it was good. It was great content.
But I do understand what you were saying though, because it does just take great content. But to your point, that intimacy can create great content.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, we on the internet. Like, nigga, I can listen to 3 niggas in Africa talk right now if I really wanted to.
And so what would live forever?
The only thing that's really going to draw me is having some type of intimacy through this distance.
And
if I can really feel connected to you, even though you all the way over there, it feels like we have a personal thing going on.
It's the same social media connection thing where like artists have to switch to showing their lives. Continue though.
But go ahead.
Nah.
And on top of that, there's some people that it's opening up a new market. There are people who follow No Jumper and didn't watch a fucking show. They only watch the responses from the shows about the other shows and the collaborations. You know what I'm saying? There's some people who are only invested on the real world side.
Yeah, some people literally go to them for the news on Instagram because they post them when this nigga died or when this rapper said something about her or misgendering should be illegal and she went viral on TikTok for saying it.
And what do we know has worked for years on TV? Reality TV has always worked.
I mean, I've turned into the No Jumper viewer who goes there for the reality aspect.
Exactly. Yeah, you're not going there for the No Jumper show.
Yeah.
The shows that they actually had.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
It's probably best to just hit all areas of media. Like I see Disney right there. You mind just typing in Disney newspaper? I want to see what pops up.
Is that a real thing, or you make it up?
I just want to see like
Disney has their own police force, so there's definitely going to be.
You have to hit all aspects. Media, meaning audio, visual, what the?
I guess.
Nigga, this is what I'm saying.
WDN News Today.
You have to hit all aspects.
Yeah, that's true.
You feel me? It can't
gotta
just
have
be
a
one
print.
thing.
You gotta have audible. You gotta have video.
But back to the Vice though.
And maybe because podcasting is so new, we just haven't seen. We're watching everybody's first rollout plan go into effect.
We're learning as we go.
Yeah.
And Vice going bankrupt it's very like weird.
Yeah, like why?
Their biggest content is the most intimate when the dude was doing drugs in Thailand with a toad. Like that's very intimate.
It was,
Like just because they're not crossing worlds with other people that work with the company,
I can't remember
doesn't
why
mean it's not intimate.
win.
And we also don't know what was giving Vice their biggest bag. A lot of the shit we see is just loss leading.
No, that's true.
It's just covering up for what's really going on.
No, that is true as well too, because it's like there's certain shows that keep platforms afloat. Like Netflix gave Adam Sandler like a 10-movie deal because the amount of viewership and subscriptions that his name brings in alone will keep them afloat for this amount of years. A lot of those shows, those originals, they're taking losses on a lot of them.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Most of them.
Most of them, yeah. There's like, just like at a record label, that's why getting shelved is a thing, because if you're not the one paying the bills in this building, we're not thinking about you as much. So
it don't fucking matter.
But and that's why I'm thinking this is a way of, what if we took all the shelved artists and made a reality TV show out of them?
But you see, the problem with living by reality TV is that you're going to die by reality TV. As we're seeing right now with Adam 22. Unless it's beef, then we're not engaging. And we don't.
But Mona Scott's still going.
Yeah, but she's still going, but not all them shows. All those people.
The real world is still going.
And Mona Scott is
the orchestrator's still going.
Big Brother is on season 400.
Mona Scott is in a different position though, because it's
talking about reality TV. Period. I'm not talking about just hip hop reality. I'm talking about reality TV. Period. Amazing Race is still right, but Survivor still comes on TV.
Right, but those aren't like, those entities are like themselves without the cast that's there. You know what I'm saying? Like they're not.
I'm just stressing how much reality does work.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying?
Survivor. It's just a lot.
I mean, that might be like a low frequency point, though. You know,
it's a lot easier to make it work on TV though, because on with podcasting, like you gotta. Well, I mean, it's essentially the same thing. You gotta get personalities interested enough to do it.
But that could be your window into the TV. So my shows go crazy on YouTube, right? But then I sign a Netflix reality TV show deal where my shows still come out on YouTube, but we do seasons on Netflix, and each season, just like the Kardashian show. The Kardashians are dropping makeup products. Those are their individual shows, but they have the Kardashian show where even though the news is 6 months late, we still get that moment that we all remember in real time on their TV show.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying?
It's like their life becomes a gimmick. It's just like a...
Yeah.
And they're real good at letting it ferment.
And let's talk about, there's also people in hip hop who have done really successful ethical reality TV. T.I. and Tiny is one of them.
Jermaine Dupri. Well, no, that whole kid show, the rapping show. Yeah.
The rap game was cool.
They said it, but they said like on the back end it was a little shady. They said it was kind of shady on the back end.
It was. Mulatto says
it was. Mulatto and Bow Wow said it was shady.
Reality.
You know what I'm saying? Music business
That's what you want, right?
T.I. and Tiny, Run's House. Who else had a reality TV show?
All the famous family ones, like
all the famous family ones. But T.I., that nigga's show has been on TV for like fucking 7-8 years.
That still comes on?
I think so. Yes.
Because I used to watch it when it first came on. Like, you know, you were a kid, your mom got it on TV.
And there was like 1 or 2 spinoffs from that show. And that's ethical. We never looked at them like reality TV jokes.
Yeah, we just watched this light-skinned family go through their hip-hop world.
That's it. So there's an ethical way of doing it. You know what I'm saying? To where it runs house, we never looked at that crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that show was fire.
Yeah, nah.
So
that was an amazing show.
Is that just is reality TV really just catering to people who just don't have anything else going on in their lives?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about nothing going on in their life, but some people.
Well, I want to say that, but I just mean
just
like
fucking love reality.
I mean, like
you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I mean, like in general, like you were saying, most times the reality people, the people who are like all invested to all the reality shows, typically, like you're saying, like that style is like the lower, the not like.
Yeah, it's a
I think low frequency content, but at the end of the day, drama is amazing. It's great entertainment. I mean, like, and the fact, and you trying to get away from your own personal drama. Because for most niggas, it's hard to laugh at what they're going through. But if I can see this nigga cheating on his bitch and they can't get that shit together, it kind of makes you feel a little bit better about what you're going through. Because at least I'm not that.
Right.
Yeah,
And exactly, that's exactly what I'm saying, where it's like, it really is just a business play.
It's a...
Yeah, from the top. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just a business play where it's like this is gonna attack the masses because so many people are gonna be able to get away from their own problems.
And it's not like that right now. I'm just saying, I would not be surprised if this is a blueprint that podcast networks and media hubs usher in the next 5 years. That's pretty much what I'm saying.
Well, you know what? If we think about it, TV has transitioned, so this is another side of TV that will end up transitioning into content.
Yeah. So yeah, I just think it's a lane that we might be watching Joe Budden test out in front of us.
Joe, yeah.
We saw 𝙼𝙾𝚂𝚃 rise it, like run it, crash and burn it. But he did have a 2-year run, not taking that away at all. Yeah. Because it was up. When it was up, it was stuck. You know. But when it came down, God damn it came down fast. But we might be able to watch Joe Budden step into this next, and if he develops this content over everything, this reality TV season thing, just Ball in the Family, another great show.
Yeah, I loved that shit.
Loved it.
That was I would go on Facebook to watch that. That was the only reason I was on Facebook watching that shit, nigga.
And that's another company that Facebook might buy your show. You know who else has a show, reality TV show? Bad Baby apparently is on like season 4 or 5 of a reality TV show that only comes on Snapchat.
Snapchat has their own category of just of content that is serialized for real.
Yeah, it's like, and she's on like, she's had dumb seasons over there. Like,
bro, it's actually amazing what Snapchat was able to do. They gave you TV for your phone, literally.
Yeah, they did.
It's cut up in bite sizes because they even got one for this.
And they have a shit ton of commercials. Holy shit.
Yeah, nah.
Like, they have a lot. They're getting a lot of money.
Not stingy.
And they can get away with it because it don't feel. It's not too much to get through it. You just tap on Snapchat.
It's just like they get away with murder in terms of the amount of commercial placements. They're getting away with murder on Snapchat. Like
crazy.
Which why getting a Snapchat show is like need that.
Right.
Like need
you know the
that
bag is
for
coming
show.
in. Yeah.
Because they take podcasts. That's No Jumper did that. AD. Adam hooked AD up with that. Community Clips is on there, and it's like, I need that connect for sure. Like, for sure. Like,
you see any other platforms trying to pivot that way? Like Instagram doesn't have. I know they got like an IGTV.
You remember they tried that.
It failed.
But it ain't gonna work for them.
Yeah, it didn't work at all. Yeah, they tried, it died, and then they just up the amount of time that you can upload a video. Yeah. You know you can upload like an hour-long podcast to your Instagram, which is so crazy.
We've done that before.
For real?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just never done it.
It was an Instagram live, but we were doing the podcast live on Instagram, and then we just put it on our feed.
Gotcha, yeah. But I'm talking about we can take one from the computer and straight drag it over there now.
Nigga, I saw half of John Wick on Twitter.
Yeah.
Because somebody posted on Twitter 4K.
Yep.
That's when I was like, oh, the clear version is out. Let me go to my website.
Right. Don't say it.
Watch it officially.
As a matter of fact, I need that.
Yeah. After this, we got to talk.
Okay.
You can say that shit on here, right?
No.
Nope, you can't.
You might give them an infection.
Yeah.
Go get his podcast herpes.
Yeah.
But let's get to the next. That was just like a random thought. Had y'all thinking though, right?
Yeah.
It's pretty good one, right? You know? We'll see.
Shout out Joe Budden.
Oh, my fault. Yeah, 1 second. All right, go ahead.